corrected data, proactively watch and repair data, tune data quality rules. So these are the facts why we need a data governance as well as the data stewardship. Okay, so this is actually for your, it has got a lot of information, this slide, and anyhow, when you download this from a slide share, you will get to see the complete parts of it. At a high level, what we are saying is that there should be a leadership council, which is like a sponsors. Then you also have a data governance committee, which is a constituent of the subject matter experts as well as the IT domain owners. Then coming down a little, you have the business data managers, who are nothing but each of the department or source system owners. On the IT side, you should have an IT architect, development maintenance manager, and technical manager. Then further below, you see process stewards, data stewards, IT data personnel, IT application personnel, IT integration personnel, and you have a consumer base. So this is actually a data governance leadership structure looks like. So if you see, right, both during the implementation of a MDM project as well as after the implementation, the maintenance of the hub and maintaining the data quality, these are the people who are primarily responsible for that, right? So just implementing an hub doesn't guarantee you success. It is more to do with the maintenance and how rigorously you are able to enforce the data quality rules. Okay, so this is further explained about what is the activities of a leadership council and the responsibility. You have governance committee, business data managers, data stewards, and process stewards. So each of them, right, have a role to play to make this initiative successful. Okay, this once again a heavy slide. So we talk about a different set of activities that are involved in the data governance. So first is that establish a data governance leadership organization, and there are steps that are defined. Then establish the data governance charter and vision. Then establish data governance framework processes. Operationalize standards and policies. Then establishing a data stewardship process and formally kick off the customer data governance initiative. So there are so much of steps that are involved. So I've seen in multiple projects, right? This is where the organization really miss out, right? They feel this is not a compelling activity for them to do. What they feel is that, hey, get the data into the hub, cleanse it, and get me my golden record. I want to show it to my management. This is always be an objective or a goal for any organization, which is very wrong. That's the reason if you see 2 years down the line, those organizations are not really successful, and they come back and tell us, right, hey, you know what, XYZ vendors have implemented customer app MDM projects, but really we were not able to utilize those apps. The reason is because it was not manned by a data steward, or they don't have a proper data governance program or committee, so the entire thing fails. So it is very important to establish this formal structure right from the beginning of the project. Okay, so a couple of more information about how to set up a process and implement activities. And also the most important part here is that you should have some metrics. See, for example, the plot.
Hello, your voice is not reaching to us.
It could be like, I try to get all my customer addresses perfected by 60 or 70%. So like that, the metrics has to be defined. It is not only the metrics with related to the data on the customer app, it also for the source system. The source system has to correct the information. What they have to do is that one particular source system, if they're not going the right data, the data governance community should enforce that they have to correct the data and start publishing it to the hub. Okay, so what are the key takeaways? So you have to establish a data governance leadership council from the very start of any MDM project. So to ensure data standards and compliance around consolidation, cleansing, governance, sharing, protection, data analysis, and data decay. Some examples of data council action items. Addition of any global languages needs DGC approval, Data Governance Council approval. So what happens is that if you look at a conglomerate or multinational companies, so what they do is that as and when they acquire companies, or as and they include operations of some of the countries which were not originally part of the operation. So it also introduce some languages. So it requires a very systematic approach when you bring in a system as well as the language of the data, right? So that requires a DGC approval. The DGC, when I say approval, it's not just approving. It is actually to look at pros and cons and see how it's going to affect the hub. Rules to curtail data decay need to be formalized. That is, if a data has not been updated for so long, it has to be going through a rigorous process and correction. Say for example, a call center agent picks up the customer telephone number and calls him and asks him, hey, this is the information we have. Is it really correct or you want to modify? Then hierarchy management. So for example, today we get to see a lot of business happens with your household information. Suppose your father is purchasing a product or a service from any of the companies, right? When you go for a product or service, you can use that as a loyalty program and try to get some discount or some additional privileges. So this is very important. So they maintain the hierarchy of customers. So the same is applied to the companies as well. So you have parent companies as well as the sister concern. So the customers' information is being not only helps the customers to benefit, also for the organization to strategically improve their business and give them the right loyalty offers. Then you have exception management process, more to do with the privacy related activities. So to make sure you are complying to the compliance rules of a specific countries, and any updates to the integration technology. So if organization decides to upgrade their integration or go for another tool, it also has to be. So these are some of the examples where people go back to the Data Governance Council or engage Data Governance Council in making those changes.